What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Little Fit Patriot channel. Today we are in with something fresh and new. It is how to pose like a model, even if you're not one. Let's get right to it.
I look good 24/7, 24/7. All y'all 10s, I'm an 11. I'm an 11.
I started modeling in 2020 and I was an absolute noob, had no idea what I was doing, but it helped me leverage my personal brand. I started telling more stories. It made me more confident. Confidence. The thing that you don't see when you look up most of these videos of like how to pose, right? Like what is the purpose of modeling? And I'm not talking about runway or being America's Next Top Model. This is for those influencers out there, people building their personal brands or wanting to work with other brands. Because the confidence in front of the camera that I found has led me to build and host my own podcast, be a guest on multiple podcasts, now operator behind the camera, helping other people build confidence. But at the same time, it has been the absolute foundation to where I'm at in the creative space right now. And a fun tip, also really a safety tip for the ladies out there, if you're working with a professional photographer, they will know how to pose you. And if they don't, run for the freaking hills, okay? But building confidence, that is why we're here. We are going to be going through a few different poses, things to think about, and we're gonna start actually with our cell phone. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get out our phone. And why are we doing this? Well, we need to find what angle we like best on our own face. So you're not gonna personally probably love these photos that you're about to take, but there's a reason behind it. So what you're gonna do first is go into your phone, go into the settings, go to the camera function, and you're gonna put these grid lines on, and it's gonna look like this with grid lines. So you're gonna kind of center your face in the middle of this. And what you're going to do is you're going to basically do a full circle, right? Now just ignore my crazy hair. So first thing you're gonna do, turn to the right, slightly angled down towards the, center bottom, just in a full circle to your full on left, slightly up, center. So you're doing a full circle and you're snapping a picture in each of these different directions, and you can try different faces, find out which side you like best. Typically, I like this side of my face, but you're gonna find what you like best. There is a method to this madness. That is step one, right? Just find out what sides that you like, so when there is a camera in front of you, you know naturally what side you're going to gravitate to. One of my next favorite tips is going to be utilizing a mirror, right? This is just a cheap one from Amazon. You don't gotta go crazy with it, but everyone has at least a mirror somewhere. Floor length is best, that way you can see your leg and your different placement. So what are we gonna do with this mirror? Okay, the purpose is you can see what your head and your body looks like so that you can shift accordingly, you can practice, because sometimes, you are going to, a photographer is gonna tell you to tilt your head or something, right? And you might go all the way up here thinking, oh, this feels so elegant, but you look and you're like, oh my God, that looks horrible. So use this to place yourself, right? Just get a feel for your body. Okay, arms. Okay, this is where you can just practice what you look like in the mirror. Just posing. See what your best angles are again. So again, we're just practicing different things. What side, if this was like the side I like to photograph on, let me try different things on this side. And you're like, Alyssa, we haven't even gone over posing. How the heck am I supposed to pose in a mirror? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about next. But get you a mirror, so when we go through these poses, you are gonna be ready and set to go in front of your mirror, practice some of your poses, get confident, because when it's time to shoot, you're gonna have some awesome poses that you're ready to do. We are going to start with our face, we're gonna go to hands, and then we're gonna go posing with our entire body. Now, remember, you're going to be limited based on what you're wearing, which is why I'm wearing some stuff that I can just freaking fight someone in, right? Because I just wanna be comfy and I wanna show you like what you can do in literally anything. So if you're wearing a ball gown or something, know that some of these poses are not gonna work as you thought. So starting with our face, I have a few tips here. So there's a lot of different things. You have Tyra Banks' smize, which is kind of like smiling with your eyes and being super dramatic, right? And let's get a little closer. So one of my favorite things is what the heck do I do with my mouth? Because you don't wanna be this is I know millennials out there, I do it all the time, right? I'm always, because that's just part of the culture of how we grew up. As a model and trying to build your personal brand, that's maybe not the best face for every occasion. Some occasions, yes, of course. One of the favorite tips that I have that I absolutely love using is, you know, because I do a lot of serious face stuff. So a lot of modeling isn't always going to be like smiling, but sometimes you might have like a little smile, like a smirk, I would say, and then you smize with your eyes. My favorite is when you're using, like, you know, you're positioning your mouth, think of just blowing out air, and you're going to hear it probably in the microphone. But you get like your serious look, and then open your mouth slightly and just, because you're gonna have that little gap between your lips. You want your mouth to be open. You don't ever want it to be completely just, you know, shut tight all the time. Your mouth might start closed, right? And I like the look away. So you're talking about your mouth. Now let's like talk a little bit about our eyes. Like, where are our eyes looking? Like, sometimes it's straight on, but not usually necessarily. Not always is probably a better way of saying it. I like to do the look away, or pretend if there's something, you know, on the set you're at, or if you're outdoors, like just keep your eyes focused on something. And you just kind of look in different directions. Like sometimes closed will have like an aesthetic feel to it. It's not always going to be straight on unless it's like, you know, a photo for your business or something like that where you're like, you know, power stance. But just keep your eyes, focus on a target, occasionally look at the camera, because usually you're going to be doing a lot of poses at once, which brings me to the next point. You're going to be moving. You know, you're not just going to be like in one static stance for like ever. Usually brand new people, that's natural, right? To just pick like one pose and you're like, okay, let's just do this forever. Like usually you're just going to be like moving around, occasionally hold something. Am I playing with my hair? You're going to be moving around. And if the photographer tells you to stop, hold it, and then you move around and got it? Next up is, what do I do with my hand?
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Or have them doing the same exact thing or in the exact same plane. You know, sometimes it works, like, you know, with little kids or like whatever, but try just like imagine shifting hands in different ways. Your hands can be playing with your hair. Like sometimes it's just like a strand, especially if you have like curls and your hair is all done up, right? Like I did not do my hair for the occasion, as you can tell. I've already shown this one earlier, like sometimes the fake ponytail. I've done this one before, okay? But also just utilizing your body. So if you have like two hands here, like sometimes that might work, but try having them doing two different things. And another rule that to keep in mind when it comes to arms is creating triangles, but just creating shapes with your body. So if your hand's like this, make sure it's not like close to your body, right? Like that doesn't look good. But imagine getting a little loose here, a little twirl, okay? So just creating shapes and making space, not like a ton of space and not a little, it's just a slight little change. So just don't ever keep things glued to like where you're at, because it just looks crazy. You just need, like, you can still do like these looks, but imagine like, okay, now arms a little lower, hands, maybe you want them here, but bring one up just a little bit. Make them do something different. Or maybe one's up here and this hand is here. Because you don't ever want to like, you know, you're doing some crazy stuff, you're like covering, like that doesn't look good, right? We're not trying to like do anything crazy, but you know, positioning your body and your hands. My favorite hand tip, you just don't know what to do. It's called peeling the peanut. And this is a massive shout out to Joey P out in Florida who taught me this a few years ago, and I'll never forget it, right? Peeling the peanut, what does that mean? Get your hands like you got a little peanut in there and you're just peeling it. Sometimes it's kind of like an interlock, like interlock your fingers in a sense, right? It's just peeling it. Now it looks crazy like this. Now, let's do a pose with it. Okay, close your hands, don't do anything crazy, open like I just did for a second, and it works from different angles. You know, sometimes just, so if all else fails, you don't know what to do, peel the peanut. And I'll throw up a picture here too of me actually peeling the peanut for a real picture with Joey P. Hey, first tip is going to be stiff to shape, right? Most photos are gonna be very stiff, right? Like, don't know what to do with any of this stuff going on. So what you're going to do is shift your weight to create shape. So shift to shape. I think I might have said stiff, but it is still stiff to a shape. Usually what I do, take a leg, move it like a little bit forward, okay? Then what you're gonna do is this back leg that's right here, the one that's in the back, whatever side that is for you, this is my natural one that I like to shift weight to. You're just gonna shift your weight to one side. So you have most weight on one side, not like even, because that looks freaking horrible. So this to this, okay? That's an easy, just shift weight. And it can be even like lateral, your legs are like this, shift your weight. And I'm being very dramatic, like showing you shift your weight. Or to the other side, just shift your weight in some fashion that's different. Shift, shift, again with my feet like this on the ground, shift to the back. You're not gonna shift forward, it's not even gonna feel natural, so don't even try it. Shift, let's switch legs. Shift to the back. And that's when you can start using your hand tricks. Just make sure you are shifted. Got it? Now let's try something fun with a chair, right? Got me old chair here. Okay, because we're all gonna have chairs around, whether you want it to be a cute chair, I guess. But anyways, you can use a chair in so many different ways, but you could try like the lunge, right? Kind of lean over, get this back leg extended out. Make sure that you're never covering your mouth or your face with your arm. Okay? So many different things you can do with a chair. To people sitting on it, power. So many different things you can do on it. Now we're gonna try some poses on the ground, right? Easy, we all got floor beneath us. Could be dirt, could be whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Just trying some different leg placements. Much like hands, you don't really want them doing, sometimes like there's a mood for certain things where it's straight on, everything's doing the exact same thing. But try to just play around. I always like these like seated ones. Point your toes. That is another great modeling tip, is just pointing your toes. You don't like the weird, like, let me look all freaking crazy like you're conjuring some spirits or something with your feet. But try, always keep pretty feet. Just think pretty feet, okay? Going onto your toes immediately, this one's pointed as well, immediately brings a little bit more flavor to it. Instead of just like, imagine if it was like flat. I don't like feet, but that's really not cute. Point your toes. Okay, I love these type of sits. Sometimes you can go a little bit more forward. Okay, we got some other ones as well. On the ground, that's cold. Okay, we just want pretty feet. Hand placement, okay? Just think about that. Get all crazy with it, you know, but just like use what you have. See what looks good, snap some shots, you know? I've even done some of these before. And imagine with shoes on, right? Like you're not gonna be barefoot all the time. If you're doing some beach shoes, always on the toes, kind of looking down. Again, not covering your face. Maybe I'm looking somewhere out in the distance above the camera. But there can be some different types of posing there. Pretty feet, pretty feet. You know, different things. Posing is 80% confidence and 20% skill. Just putting it out there. So the number one reason people don't try posing or are not good at it is because they overthink it. If you have that confidence, it immediately adds flavor to whatever pose you're doing, okay? So if you own the pose, even if it feels weird at first, or let's say I have a leg up, let's go backwards and do this, you know? It's like that confidence immediately gonna show through. Okay, it might feel weird at first because it's like, this isn't like normal that we're just out here modeling, especially I'm like by myself right now, but I'm like, boom! And it's fun, okay? But remember, do not overthink it. It is 80% confidence. So let's build that today. I don't know about you, but I had an absolute blast shooting this one. I absolutely love modeling. I think it's super awesome. So to be able to help instruct, just a few tips here and there is is fun for me and I hope it was fun for you. Please let me know in the comments what you'll be trying first, and be sure to tag me on other social media as well because I will reshare. I would love to see what you took away from this video. Please smash the like button in the face, send a subscribe. I will be sending different types of videos to this channel, all within the creative space. So you can look forward to more model posing, but your comments and messages to me matter so much in the content that I create. Let me know in the comments. I will see you next week. Thank you for being here.
I look good 24/7, 24/7. All y'all 10s, I'm an 11. I'm an 11.